Welcome back, everyone. Toy Shiz here, and we are back yet again for another McFarlane Toys news update. No, we're not going to be talking about DC Multiverse today. We're not talking about Page Punchers. We're not talking about the Collector's Edition line, nor the digital line. And when you say that all in one go, you think, wow, that's a lot of sublines for the DC Multiverse. My God. No, we are headed to reissue territory. We're going back to the DC Collectibles days, the DC Direct days, and to one of my favorite cartoons of all time. And of course, I'm talking about the Batman Adventures, the new Batman Adventures. I always loved this image. This was at the end credits of the new Batman Superman Adventures hour. That was always a blast. I would have loved, maybe they could still do it. Hopefully we'll see them do it, to just have a reissue of the animated Superman and Lois Lane. I'm not asking for much, just do a straight reissue, and I would be a happy camper. I would love to own those figures. Now, before we get into today's news, as always, I will put the affiliate pre-order links down in the description below. Amazon, as of this video, is going to be kind of iffy, just FYI, but we'll do the usual channels, Entertainment Earth, GameStop. Wherever they go up, I'll have the links. So first and foremost, we are going to be getting a reissue of Batman. And I know what you're thinking. A lot of people are going to go, oh my God, how many Batmans can we do? Well, you have to think about this in terms of the Kenner, Hasbro, Mattel days. So this is a TNBA Batman, now in a silver costume, which totally harkens back to the Kenner, Hasbro, Mattel days, just FYI. Also, when they used to do silver, let's just say this, it was seen more as like a premium kind of thing. Like, ooh, that's a fancy looking Batman. Technically, he's still gray and black, we'll just say, but he's more of that silvery, shiny, anniversary, expensive costume look, right? And everybody kind of rolls their eyes and like, sure, whatever you want to say there. But yes, I still have my silver Batmans. Yes, this does harken back to that nostalgia factor. Do I want it? It's at the bottom of the list. If we're being honest. If anything, what would have been cool, let's just say, is that if they could have done new head portraits for when they do these reissues of the Batmans, like the prior way we had the all blue, now we have this silver, that would have been better, because then you could swap the heads to the one that everybody wants, just the normal look for TNBA Batman. That would have been cool. I really wish they would have done that. See, when we talk about, and a lot of people are confused a lot of times, they go, wait, why aren't they just redoing the figures? Why aren't these new? Why do they have old articulation? These are reissues. They are literally going to go get the mold, get the paint, get the accessories, redo it, slap it in a box, and that's it. It's the minimal work possible for reissuing something. Now, they have gotten into the habit of doing new parts and pieces, like for the Target BTAS line, right? We get Build-A-Figures now. We saw recently with the Batman Beyond, they did a unreleased Terry head for Batman Beyond. That was awesome. So that's where I go, man, it really would be cool to get a different expression or different accessories, something like that. You're always going to get the same figure. They're just going to paint it differently, but yeah, that was my 2 cents. I really wish they would have done that, because then, like I said, it would get you for buying the new head portrait. You could have that head portrait for the other Batmans and so on and so forth. Like the rest of the line so far for TNBA, you don't get Build-A-Figure pieces, but you get the animation cell reproduction. They're not the best things in the world, but they are interesting, and they do look good standing next to your figures. I will say that. Here he is, all boxed up, ready to go. A silver Batman, which again makes me laugh, because yes, this is what they used to do back in the day, right? Well, before you used to get a pre-posed one, and they came with an Arkham Asylum sign and a TNBA Two-Face. That was the only way to get Two-Face back in the day. But if you want them, I will put the pre-order links down in the description below. Moving on, we have one of my top faves from this wave, Etrigan the Demon. Jack Kirby fans, along with myself, were just screaming, right? Now, again, I've had all these number of years to grab this figure, just never got it, because I thought, oh, I'm not going to get into this. I'm not going to get into this line. Oh, they're reissuing them. Okay, now I will get into them. So Etrigan the Demon, from the episode The Demon Within, when he fights Clarion the Witch Boy, which If you're paying attention, no, unfortunately, you do not get Clarion and Tickle, and it's kind of a bummer. The prior release TNBA 2-pack from years back does have those figures all packaged together. It's pretty cheap-ish on the aftermarket if you want to go ahead. I do not believe there are any plans to do Clarion, so if you don't have him, if you need him, that's going to be your only outlet to grab him, which is a bummer, but at least you could get him now if you want. It's a little bit of a heads up. But in the figure that we are getting, Etrigan looks awesome. I love the colors on him, the yellows. Yes, like we just talked about with Batman, it is not redone. It is not updated. They did nothing to the figure. They go put Etrigan in a box. Boom. There you go. So if you don't like it, that's all I got for you. It's just like, hey, you either buy these or you don't. If you have the originals, I think you're pretty set. You don't need another Etrigan, but for those of you who are like me and you want Etrigan with a bunch of hands, bunch of Simpson yellow hands and the stand, well, look no further. I'm stoked on this guy. Yes, I need Clarion. Hopefully I can go online and grab one somewhere. If you're out there and you have an extra Clarion that you don't want for some reason, hit up your old pal Toyshes. He'd be happy to take it off your hands. Just hit me up down in the comments or send me a message on Instagram. Whatever's easiest for you. But here's the cell. I was like that. He just points at Tickle and goes, "This will be your reckoning." You know, that was pretty cool. Let's be honest. Etrigan went through several iterations on TNBA to Justice League and everything else. I liked this version. I kind of liked the Justice League. It was kind of mixed on both. I like them for various reasons. I think that the height on the Justice League was a lot better, but this one is still great. Great episode. And in talking about the Batmans, like how cool would it have been extra parts and pieces to put those spikes when Clarion kind of cast the spell on Batman? That would have been fun to attach. Just saying, that would have been great. Just a little something goes a long way. Just saying, Etrigan all boxed up, ready to go. If you need Etrigan the Demon, you can pre-order him now. And then to round out the 3-figure wave, we are going to be getting Mr. Freeze from his TNBA incarnation, for those of you confused. I remember when they first unveiled this design, and I read it, and I watched all the interviews. I was so stoked to see these designs. TNBA was great for me back in the day. Now that I've gotten older and come to my senses, I still love it, let's be honest, but I see this and I go, well, they made some weird choices here and there, and in the redesign of Mr. Freeze, that's a perfect example. As Mr. Freeze right here, as a figure, as a character, looks awesome, right? He just kind of resembles an updated B-TAS Mr. Freeze, which is totally rad, totally like it. I like the long legs. You would have thought nothing of it. You go, okay, yeah, he's still doing the whole shtick thing, right? Well, no. And when this happened in the episode, I remember going, the heck is that? So it took some getting used to, let's be honest. It was definitely a departure, let's be honest. But keep in mind, for those of you who remember, when they debuted this episode, if I'm not mistaken, it may have been right at the same time or it was a few months apart, something like that. But Batman Beyond was also on. So it immediately went from seeing this being jarred and being like, what the heck is this? To then flash forwarding to the future. And then they had their Mr. Freeze episode, which kind of clarified all that, kind of put them back together in many ways, you know what I mean? And then we all know the ending to that. So it wasn't too big of like a what is going on. Plus, he never came back in TNBA, so we never had that. He was in the comics, the offshoot comics, which are not really continuity. They are and they aren't. I'm not getting into that. But you get the idea. That's my little story for the Spiderhead Mr. Freeze, of which, yes, I'm happy to say he comes with the spider legs. You can remove the head. So it's just the suit or spare suit, as Batgirl and Batman thought. He comes with his cold gun. Thank God. He comes with a stand, and you get the cell reproduction. I believe that's when he's blasting the skeleton, I want to say. He's either blasting the skeleton or he's blasting the artwork. I forget. It's one of those two, but that looks awesome. Very happy to have this spider-legged Mr. Freeze. Remember the old Kenner, Hasbro, Mattel stuff? However, that all fit in. It was a mess back in the day, but man, he looks awesome. Very happy to have Michael Anzara's rendition of
Mr. Freeze.
So, with that, I will leave you guys with all my TNBA know-how. Again, pre-order links will be down in the description below. What are your thoughts on these figures? Are they for you? For those of you who have never watched TNBA, if any of you exist out there, I am so curious to see what you guys think of Batman the Animated Series, the new Batman Adventures now, right? Having watched it 35 years later or whatever it is. I'm curious to know your guys' thoughts. Do you think it's good? Because I've been seeing a lot of people recently going, it's terrible. I don't like it. I'm like, oh, it's blowing my mind because I'm like, there's no way. There's no way people think this is bad. But that's the times we live it in, right? It makes no sense to me. So again, you've heard my thoughts. Comment below. And until the next one, I will leave you guys with that. Adios.